My name is Cliff Royal, born and raised in New Zealand. I've been blessed to have a very successful business of the last 20 years. I'm extremely privileged to introduce a good friend of mine, Scott Fardulis. Everyone I've met holds Scott in high regard as a friend, a leader, and a mentor. So it's so great to have you here, Scott. Really appreciate everything that you do for us, and I'm sure that this is going to be an extremely interesting presentation. Scott Fardulis.
Thank you so much, Cliff. I really appreciate your very, very kind words. Hey, listen, folks, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to tune in to our webinar overview of Youngevity. And before I get into the details of this, I'd just like to share a couple of things that will bring you and I really close together, because I believe that our lives are almost identical. And it's not that we've traveled the same exact paths, or we've gone down the same roads, or even had the identical experiences. Rather, we've already shared the same innate emotions that give us the ability to strive and want the very best out of life. When I was a kid, I used to sit and daydream. I'd get in trouble sitting in class, and the teacher would come over me and snap the fingers and say, "Hello, Earth to Scott, are you with me?" And in reality, I wasn't most of the time present in that moment. My mind was elsewhere. I was dreaming out the window, thinking about where my life was compared to where it could be. And the older I got, I'd look around and I'd see people that were taking their time, the best years of their life, and they were devoting it to things and to people that weren't getting them to the place that they would call the dream. And I want to talk to you about the dream just a little bit today, because I believe that we're all like kids. Deep down inside, we know that there's something magical, euphoric, incredibly crazy, this life that we could experience that most of us never had. So how do you get it? And is it even really reasonable or realistic to allow your mind to go there? And I can tell you, absolutely matter-of-factly, the answer is a resounding yes. So let me explain. Just like you, I want to own the best health that I can physically out of my life. Just like you, I want to have the best financial health that I possibly can. And just like you, I want to own my time so I can do the things, have the things, and go to the places and be with the people that I really care about most, and not waste time during my life. Because let's face it, none of us are going to live forever. Whatever time we have, it's not that much. So you may have 40, 50, 60 years left of your life. You may have 3 or 4, but the reality is we just don't know. So whatever time we have, don't we just want to make the best of it? Well, here's how we do it. I'm going to skip forward many chapters of my life and just tell you this. I've gone to school just like you. I decided to take on a couple of courses of education over time. I'm studied in the areas of aviation and business administration. And even though I went to college or university and I have that educational background, what I use those courses for is really to pursue my passions. I always wanted to be a pilot. And what I found out is that somewhere in my lineage, I'm related to this gentleman that a lot of people have heard of. His name is Chuck Yeager. And what I appreciate about Chuck Yeager is he was the first person that ever broke the sound barrier and lived to tell about it. And as I look at his life and his experience, I use it as a metaphor in my life. When I come to challenges or obstacles or hurdles in my life, I have to ask myself a question. Am I going to face them and deal with them head on and press through them and get over them so I can get past it? Or when I come to those brick walls, am I going to repel and pull back only to still have to face those fears or challenges at a later date? Well, the reason I bring this up is because when Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier, he did the opposite of what everyone else who had gone before him did. When all the other people that died attempting to break the sound barrier, the common theme or thread was that as they got into the violent or turbulent air, which occurs right in that moment when you're about ready to press through and break the sound barrier, they'd always pull back and they'd linger too long in that environment, and the planes would blow up, the pilots would perish in the disintegration of everything that happened. And so Chuck Yeager had an idea. He said, when that moment occurs, I'm going to give the airplane all the juice it has. Full throttle, firewall. And he pressed through it, and what he experienced was complete euphoria, stable air, Nothing except stillness and complete peace and silence as he was now traveling faster than the speed of sound. Isn't that just like our life? I want to encourage you right now, as we continue to talk and I share some things with you now, open your mind. Relax, take it all in, and be willing to face your fears, overcome the obstacles in your life, and press through them, because right on the other side of your fear is where success lies. And the reason why success is so rare today is we're not willing to face our fears, not willing to overcome the challenges. We'd rather exist in a comfort zone. So listen, it wasn't that long ago I figured I had the world by the tail. Life was great. I was enjoying time. I was enjoying my family, the things that we all want out of life. And all of a sudden I wake up one day and I realize something's not right. And here was the fatal flaw to my life plan. The fatal flaw is that I assumed that just because I was eating right and just because I was exercising and just because I was doing things that most people do when they're healthy, that I couldn't possibly be the one that had a major health challenge. Boy, was I wrong. Majorly wrong. And I needed a miracle in my life, and I'm so glad that that miracle came, because I met a gentleman that has forever changed the course of my life. And it's now going to have an impact on you, because I'll tell you what, I am sharing with everyone I know how to have the best of their life, as I just explained. So we're going to talk about Youngevity. And here's the challenge for most people. Most people go to school, get a great education, they go out into the workforce, and they start trading time for money. We're talking about giving the best of your day in a 24-hour period to a job, something that's related to income so that we can pay our bills. Here's what happens with this scenario. By the time they're 65 years old, one person is going to be wealthy. And that just simply means that they have more than they need. 4 people are going to find themselves financially stable, having enough to pay the bills and get by, relatively low, minimal stress. And 5 people out of 100 that reach the age of 65, they come to this conclusion: it's impossible to slow down. They've got to still continue working and figuring out how to keep their income high. 28 people out of 100 will never see their 65th birthday, and 62 people out of 100 are going to end up dead broke. Typically that means dependent on friends, family, and the government for their mere existence. So let's look closely here. As you look at your screen, just recognize that 62 plus 28 is 90. That's 90% of all the people that go through life will be either dead or completely dead broke. Folks, I don't know about you, but those statistics make me shudder in my boots. So rather than do that, let's recognize one more thing. 95 out of 100 people, just looking at this chart, are going to end up on the 40-40 plan. What's the 40-40 plan? The 40-40 plan is 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life to live on 40% of your used-to-be income. How do people pull it off? We're talking about 95 out of 100 people literally working the best of their years to help 5 people achieve comfort in their lives. That's working for someone else's success and not our own. So what are we going to do about it? Here's what I found. Network marketing as a professional is the only thing I've ever found in my life that gives you control over those 3 things we talked about: your health, your money, and your time. And for me, I know as a fact that if you have a simple system and you follow that system and other people that have gone before you, we're talking about a couple of year plan. That's what happened for my wife and I. In a couple of years from beginning our journey with Youngevity, we owned the very best of our life, and it's not stopping anytime soon, and we've helped so many people in the process. Listen to this. Most businesses that people start require massive capitalization, major inventory, restrictions to territories, limits on income, large investments, credit checks, etc. Lots of employees perhaps, and definitely the world of having a boss. But what I'm about to show you requires none of those things. As you can see on your screen here, it doesn't require any of that. So 2 years, you copy what we're talking about here, and you likely will be in a position to where you control the rest of your life instead of giving those keys to someone else to drive your car. How did all this come into play? Well, our founder, his name is Dr. Joel Wallach. And Dr. Wallach has a phenomenal story. He's about 75 years old at this time, and he grew up on a farm in Missouri. That would be back in the States. So growing up on a farm in Missouri, raising livestock, growing all the agriculture, one day he asked his father, he says, why is it that animals by and large seem to be healthy and people seem to be sick? And his father said, that's a great question. And as a result, Dr. Wallach went to medical school. He became a veterinarian doctor, spent years and years of his life traveling all over the world, in Africa and Australia and beyond. And he started studying the behavior and habits of animals and the diseases of exotic animals. And what he found after doing thousands and thousands of autopsies is that every single disease was linked to a mineral deficiency. So here we are all these years later, and today Dr. Wallach's been published all over the world in scientific and medical journals. He's a best-selling author of a book called Dead Doctors Don't Lie, with millions of copies sold. And he's been practicing treating people as well as animals now for decades. And he is just brilliant enough to know that a message that powerful, and what's that message again? 90 essential nutrients for the rest of your life, every day of your life. That's the motto of our company. 90 for life. He has surrounded himself with some brilliant minds, people that are credentialed, people that are documented, people that are well understood and respected in their fields. He's surrounded himself with those individuals to help carry this message forward with both a scientific and an advisory board. Well, here's the history on Youngevity as a company. Started in 1997. In the upper left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see the very first global headquarters that we put together in San Diego, California. In the middle of your screen, you're looking at 5 individuals that today operate, control, and run our business all over the world. We've got the president, Bill Andreoli. Next to him on his right, or to the right, is Mary Lou Henner, a very well-known actress, a celebrity, someone that's an author, a speaker, a promoter, someone that's very well connected in the business world. We've got Dr. Wallach in the middle. We've got Michelle Wallach, our COO, handling operations, and Steve Wallach is the CEO of the company. Every day, this crew and cast of people is making decisions on yours and mine's behalf so that we have the best shot at freedom in our lives. The next picture to the right of that is a picture of us standing on the bow of a major cruise liner, oceanic cruise liner. We're traveling in this picture through the Caribbean, enjoying life, celebrating freedom with our friends and family. And every year we take this cruise, and we want you on it next time. There's Mary Lou Henner to the right. This lady is just phenomenal. She has a great statement that I really appreciate. She says, life is hard. It doesn't matter what we do, life is hard. And she says, choose your hard. Since everything is hard, why don't we choose the right kind of hard that ultimately liberates us and gives us the freedoms that you and I are talking about right now? The whole cast and crew of people along the bottom portion of your screen, those are individuals that have major platforms as celebrities, authors, speakers, coaches, media and sports announcers, athletic conditioning coaches, bodybuilders, professional football player, a professional basketball player, and all of them have something to say about the impact that Dr. Wallach has had on their life. It's amazing the stories that have come from this man named Dr. Joel Wallach. Well, if you look above those pictures on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see our stock and ticker symbol, YGYI. It's there because we're a publicly traded company. And what you should know about us is that we're growing very fast. We do business in multiple countries all over the world, and we are ranked as one of the top fastest growing and most successful network marketing companies in history. When you look at the locations we have all over the world, note that one of our international global headquarter locations is in the backyard of Auckland, New Zealand. And we're looking to grow all throughout Australasia, and we're getting ready to open up in Singapore as well, and impacting the Pacific Rim. So that's the good news in the history of our company. But let's talk more specifically about this 90 for Life message. The 90 for Life message is so powerful because, once again, when you understand the value of really having the best of your physical health possible and what it means to take in those 90 essential nutrients, folks, that's powerful. But over the course of 18 years, we haven't stayed inside of just the health and nutrition niche. We've grown into a holistic, well-rounded family of brands. Look at the outer wheel of this target in the middle of your screen. Health and wellness, beauty and personal care, food and beverage, philanthropy and giving back, home and family. These are multi-billion-dollar industries, and when you break down each of those niches alone, there are so many sub and micro categories that make up those niches. There is something here for everyone, every day, all the time, young, old, educated, uneducated. It doesn't matter where you're from or what your socioeconomic status is, your educational level. This company is for everyone, and that is so exciting. But let's look specifically at some of the statistics that exist right here in our backyard in New Zealand. Let's talk about chronic disease for just a second. New Zealand is ranked 17th at the moment globally in overall expectancy. Look at diabetes, one of the top 5 or 6 killers in the world. Did you know that by the time you're 55 to 64 years old, you've got about a 55% chance of contracting diabetes? This isn't good news. Cancer has now overtaken heart and cardiovascular disease as one of the leading causes of death. Obesity, we're ranked 3rd according to a 2011 statistic in the world for obesity. Folks, it's time for us to take charge and understand that no matter what disease we choose to analyze, they're all on the rise. And rather than waiting to become victims of circumstance, let's do something about it and take charge. And that's where Dr. Wallach's message comes in. Once again, we're talking about 90 for life, 90 essential nutrients every day of your life for the rest of your life. It's not what we're eating that's killing us, it's what we're not eating that's killing us. And even when we think we're healthy, because we are different, we spend the extra money, we go to the all-natural grocery store, and we buy organic and grass-fed and no synthetic and chemical, components or ingredients in our products, and we think that that's being healthy. Yes, it's a good idea. However, it's no guarantee that you're taking in healthy products because we don't know what's in the soil. If it's not in the soil, it's impossible for it to be in you. If it's not in the soil, it's not getting into the livestock that you depend on for your protein. If it's not in the soil, it's not in your plants that grow our fruits and vegetables. And therefore, we're at risk at any given time. So how do we get the 90 essential nutrients into our system? Well, with we have a lot of products, folks, in all those niches. So I'm not going to go into the details of what those products are specifically, but let's just talk about 3. Beyond Tangy Tangerine. That's a powder loaded with vitamins, with minerals, and essential nutrition. And every day of your life, you want to unscrew that canister, take out the scooper, and put 2 scoops into a nice big glass of water or some kind of a shaker cup, mix it all up, and spend 3 or 4 hours in a day drinking down those 2 scoops of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. So it's about absorption, and so rather than guzzle it down, just sip on it throughout the half of a day. Second, in the middle of your screen, you see something called essential fatty acids. That's a gel cap, and inside is your omega fish oils, and that's good for your brain nutrition. We don't want Parkinson's. We don't want dementia. We don't want any memory loss diseases. So rather than dealing with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or dementia, let's take our essential fatty acids every day. You want to take off that little lid and put 3 of those in your hand and drink those with a good glass of water, or more importantly, your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. On the far right of your screen, you see something called Beyond Osteo FX Plus. This is very important for your bone health, your joint health, your ligaments, your tendons, and your cartilage. Anyone that wants healthy bones and joints, a good skeletal structural system, you've got to take your Beyond Osteo FX every single day. Now that comes in a powder, as you can see here. It also comes in a liquid. I prefer the liquid personally. I shake up the bottle, I pour a little capful, 1 ounce, and I swallow that every single day. Folks, different solubilities require us to have these 3 different products, and you need to take all 3 of them every day of your life for the rest of your life. And Dr. Wallach understands, when he did the science and the studies and the research for all these decades on every animal species that you can think of, the conclusion was clear about 90 for life. And he understands it would be a lot of responsibility for you and I to go to medical school and to spend the time researching and studying as he has to come to the same conclusions. So I've concluded if it's good enough for Dr. Wallach, it's definitely good enough for me. Look at these healthy body packs in the middle of your screen. So whichever pack you can take all 900 diseases that he's eliminated out of the animal kingdom, and by the title alone, you can figure out which pack would be helpful for you to take per what you're looking to accomplish. So upper left-hand corner, we'll go clockwise. Weight loss. Remember the statistic that we showed earlier? We're talking about New Zealand being third on the list for most obese nations in the world. Can we help people? You bet we can. With the Healthy Body Weight Loss Pack, there's a website I'm going to give you, ASAP, ASAP, slimcenter.com. Take the Healthy Body Weight Loss Pack, go to asapslimcenter.com and simply follow the simple process for how you take these products and the foods you eat, the things you should avoid, the things you should do. It's really simple, folks. And as I've talked and interviewed people that have gone through this protocol, the average is like a half a pound a day, upwards of 2 pounds a day of losing abnormal fat stores. So that's why the Healthy Body Weight Loss Pack is important. The Athletic Pack, why is that important? Because athletes typically die first. We spend our lives exercising and sweating out the best of our nutrition, and then we look to replace those nutrients back into our body, and we don't know what to do. So we drink water, we drink energy drinks like Powerade or Gatorade or Monster or Red Bull, and that's not doing it for us. It's an artificial stimulation that's not putting the nutrients back in our body. I have a good friend of mine that was an attorney near where I live. Triathlete, exercise, fit, trim, in shape, riding his bicycle to work. He keels over. He'd have been the last person on the planet that you think could have had a heart attack. Nonetheless, he left behind his wife and kids, and it was unfortunate. It didn't have to happen. The digestion pack. There are so many situations, inconveniences, diseases, sicknesses, and ailments linked to digestion. So this pack helps you process and break down and move food healthfully in a healthy way through your body and not getting all clogged up, if you know what I mean. The Brain and Heart Pack is extremely important. How many people do we all hear stories about with, it could be anything from Alzheimer's to dementia, to Parkinson's disease, to aneurysms, to strokes, let alone the blood clotting and anything related to heart failure or heart issues. There are so many things that fit into this category. That's why we have a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. How about the the Bone and Joint Pack? Dr. Wallach has said, if you just live long enough, everyone's going to live a life of pain. Well, who wants to live long enough only to be looking forward to living a life of pain? So if you're already in pain, or you don't want to be in pain, you either have a proactive or a reactive opportunity here. Take the Bone and Joint Pack so that your bones keep stable and strong and dense, and you remain flexible late into life. Then there's the Blood Sugar Pack. The Blood Sugar Pack is extremely important. Remember that statistic? By the time you're in your mid 50s to early 60s, you have more than a 50-50 chance of being diagnosed with diabetes. Who wants that? And if you've already been diagnosed with diabetes, you can take the Blood Sugar Pack. And there are so many stories of people that have gotten their blood sugar levels under control, and they don't have to take all the medications or the injections that typically go along with diabetes. So good news on all fronts. That's the background of our Healthy Body Packs. But now what I want to do is I want to talk about that second braid, or the second cord that makes up the braid on a really strong rope. And it's getting control of our financial health. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the business model of monetizing Dr. Wallach's message that started with 90 for Life and evolved into the family of brands that we have today. So here's the point. We're all going to go shopping at any number of stores. Regular, average, everyday stores, all the way up the line to your all-natural grocery store. Whatever it is, wherever it is you're shopping, we're going to open our wallets and we're going to pull out cash, credit, or charge, and we're going to give somebody what I'm going to call anyway money. So the concept here is that if we take our anyway money and we reroute where it is that we're spending it and spend it inside of Youngevity instead of at the stores that we're used to visiting, wouldn't it make sense if that's what it would take for you to have complete and total control over your financial freedom and independence? And of course the answer is yes. So here we are with a really powerful business model. This business model transcends everything I've ever seen in my life. And when I look at this business model, it's no different than the company you work for, the church you attend, the way your house operates, the way that your company performs. It's no different than that. The only difference is that we get compensated and paid what we're worth. And I am so more valuable than any company could put a price tag on me that I refuse to ever do it again. I refuse to let a company tell me what I'm worth. I refuse to let them put a cap on me. I refuse to build their dream instead of mine. I choose the value of my wife, my children, my family, and given them 80% of my day and 20% to somebody else instead of the other way around. We go through life and we're programmed that we're supposed to give 80% of our day to everybody else except the people that we hold in the highest regard with the most value. And that would be our own family and friend circle. So this is what you have to do. And it's what I did, literally less than a handful of years ago. Less than a handful of years ago, I made the same decision. Number one, I was so excited for Dr. Wallach to give me good news about my health condition so that I could get well. And that's exactly what happened. The second thing, I wanted to be well financially. And so I followed the advice of leaders that were associated with our company that had what I wanted. And I learned this, I needed to get a CEO pack. What business could you start without tools? What business could you start without the experience of the very products that your company has to offer? So with the CEO pack, if you look at your screen here, look at these 5 bullets. This is a turnkey business system. It's a turnkey model where you don't have to create anything, you don't have to invent anything, you don't have to inventory anything, you don't have to build a website, you don't have to do anything. We've already got all those things in place. All we want you to do is experience the best of some of our core line nutrition and what it can do for you, what it can do for other people, and give you the story and the testimony that everybody should have. That's our turnkey business model. We have unlimited CEO leadership training. So you think about people that are out there that have great training systems, but after you get really excited about being the best that you can be, you've got to go right back to your job. So what did that accomplish? If at the end of the day you go back to your job after you get this great personal growth and business development coaching, what good does that do except now you're just a really happy jobber? We don't want you to be a really happy jobber. We want you to be free to own your life. So our CEO leadership training brings you the best of personal and professional and business development, and we give you the vehicle called Youngevity so that over the next couple of years you can be on your way to complete control over your life. That's what we mean by that. How about the Silver Mercedes Club? We want you to drive a free car. You can rank advance through our company, and very quickly you can be in a place to where Youngevity is giving you the cash so you can afford what you want to drive. We call that the Silver Mercedes Club. Then we have stock options. With our stock options, as your rank advance, we'll give you options at today's price that will lock in for a period of time, and you can exercise them later should our stock be increasing at today's price. That's another great way to create wealth and to own a piece of this rock called Youngevity. In infinity bonuses, that means as we build a team, quite frankly, there is nothing left on the table. You're going to get paid on all of it. And I'll tell you what, it feels so much better to have many people responsible for doing a little bit so you can get paid on a lot of people each doing a little bit of effort. And that's better than you being the only person responsible for your income. 2 different worlds. So, your time? Absolutely. It's your most valuable asset. We're not doing this for cars or dream homes or planes or boats or vacation packages. Although those things are nice, what we're really after here is the ability for you to own your time instead of someone else owning your time. So how do we do that? Well, let's just say that this is a simple theoretical example. And this picture denotes exactly what your job might look like. So on the far right hand side, you've got a picture there that I want you to imagine as you. And you're responsible for going and hiring some employees to help you get your job done inside your company. This is what any job structure would look like. Only here, rather than looking at an employee-boss relationship, I just want you to imagine for a second that there's a half a dozen people that are in your mind right now, and you're going, wow, I would love to help these people have control over their life. I would love to have these people get free as we're talking about right now. And if you do what I do and you go tap them on the shoulder, then you're going to show them this plan. And when they see this plan, just like you're seeing right now, they're going to go, aha, an actual plan B, an actual exit strategy. Nobody in life has a plan B or an exit strategy. You know how we know that? It's the pie chart that we showed you at the very beginning of this overview. One person gets out alive. That's the wealthy person. One person. Everybody else struggles. Life wasn't meant for us to struggle eternally. Life was meant for us to have struggles and be able to push through them and get through them and have more successes, more celebrations, and more victories than we have struggles, so that life is actually an enjoyment. And you know what? This is how you get your money back. So let me reflect for just a second. Remember this slide right here? Remember this slide? It's $720 to get a CEO pack. Now I know this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing because usually when we talk about businesses that can give you the kind of freedom that we're talking about, it usually costs tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars to get up and operating and running. And then we don't even stop to think that, 9 out of 10 businesses typically fail in the first handful of years. Those aren't good odds, and you certainly don't want to be at risk for that much money. So the embarrassing part is, I'm telling you, it's only $720 to get a CEO pack so you can have the advantage of these 5 bullets that I showed you. What's in the CEO pack? What's in the CEO pack are 2 sets of the 90 essential nutrients. There's products for recovery after workout or physical labor where you're sweating. There's products in here for pain. There's products in here for digestion. There's products in here for weight loss. There's products in here for your cellular health. And then there's even a portfolio that puts in writing, in written form, details, explanation, training, insights from successful people in our company through the industry, so you have a strategic plan on proceeding forward from where you are to where you want to be. And my goal is to show you how to put that money quickly back into your pocket, which I just did here by showing you what happens with 4 people. Guess what? Those people are going to get a CEO pack as well. Everybody gets a CEO pack. Why does everyone get a CEO pack? Because that's what it takes to go on this journey so you can own your life. And I know, I get it. People say, really? I don't know if I want to be at risk like that. Well, why not? Because we all wanted to go buy the flat screen TV. We wanted to go buy the computer. We wanted to get the new smartphone that just came out. We were all willing to go into tens of thousands of dollars of debt to go to school, but there were no guarantees on all those very expensive decisions that you've made in your life financially. We were willing to do those things with no guarantees, but when we show you how to break completely free in this society and own your life for $720 on a CEO pack and then switching where you shop on things you were going to buy anyways, we say silly things like, isn't that too good to be true? Isn't this one of those deals where, it's shaped like a pyramid or a triangle? And haven't I heard before that those things are not good ideas? Listen, probably not a news flash, but I don't think there's any structure that's shaped any different than a triangle or a pyramid, whatever you want to call it. Everything is a triangle or pyramid. They're not circles, they're not squares, they're not rectangles, they're not stars, they're not half-shaped moons, they're all triangles. And this is just one of the triangles that's out there. So it's not whether something's a triangle or a pyramid. The question is, do you want to be in a triangle that gives you liberty to own your life and have freedom, or do you want to be in a triangle that makes you part of that 40-40-40 plan and statistic, which we just showed you is a complete dead end? You get to fill in the blanks of the triangle instead of being forced into somebody else's spot that they've picked for you in their triangle. It's a brilliant plan. This industry called network marketing, it's been around for a long time. And we're talking about an industry that does well over $100 billion a year. And it's estimated that 1 in 5 people in scales of economy in various countries, 1 in 5 people are in a network marketing company. So you just are looking at something right now that's a game changer for your life. But let's not stop here, because I want to show you how you start to put incredible residual income into your pocket. So here's a chart that I absolutely love. On the left-hand side, you'll see it says level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And that's where in an organizational professional chart, you'd see the names of different positions like, CEO, president, vice president, national manager, regional manager, local manager. There's your 5 or 6 levels in a corporate chart. And this is no different. We're just not going to get into fancy titles. Remember those 4 people on the previous slide? Here they are on level 1. And in the upper right hand corner, all we're doing is we're expressing the simple thought that we're going to go to the store and spend some Anyway money. So let's just say that you take Anyway money, and in anybody's household, I think we could all agree that between groceries and personal care items and household products and chocolate and tea and coffee and jewelry and essential oils, utilities, scrapbooking, you name it. That's a lot of things. You just pick a few things out of there, and let's just say that you reroute, I don't know, $250 or $260 in a month. What would that do for you if you did that and you taught everybody to do something similar? Well, here's what would happen. Those 4 people making a decision like that would put residually in your pocket about $72 to $75 a month. Not too shabby. It's just a beginning. And I know that doesn't liberate anybody, but just like every other business, you've got to start somewhere. And what happens when those 4 people do the exact same thing? They want to get their money back just like you did. Because remember, with 4 people getting a CEO pack, you put all the money right back into your pocket, all of it, and then some. So you've been made totally whole. I think that takes about a week to accomplish. So in the first week, that's how you get your money back. Those 4 people go do the same thing. They get 4 people. Now you've got 16 new people. They all get CEO packs and they switch where they shop. And let's just say again, theoretically, that they spend about $250, $260 in a month rerouting their shopping habits into Youngevity. And that gives you another $200 to $300. Folks, I'm telling you what, this is a plan that is absolutely genius. It's so brilliant because it works every time for every single person that will follow the simple system that we've laid out. So as you can see through this geometric progression, everyone gets a CEO pack and then they switch where they shop. Everyone gets a CEO pack and then they switch where they shop. And each person in this example is merely telling 4 people how great this news is. Look at the numbers to the right side of the screen. If another 288 plus the 72 isn't enough, how about adding another 1,000? How about adding another 3,500? How about adding another 14,000? How about adding another 73,000? And how about the fact that by doing this, as we've laid out, that creates incredible amounts of money. So that not so you can pocket it all, it's so that you can spread it around. I'm encouraging you to think about your dream, your passion, the things that ignite your soul. What would you do when you own your time and you have the best of your health and you own your money? Couldn't you live on a little bit of that and give the rest of it away? Because I know some of you are looking right now and you're either going, oh yeah, now we're talking, or you're crossing your arms and saying, who needs all that money? Well, I'll tell you who needs that money. The victims of human trafficking and sex slavery. The people that are out there doing good deeds to feed the homeless, to build churches, to erect orphanages and schools for children. People that need scholarships. Buildings in the community that need to be fixed because of an earthquake. I don't know. You tell me. What is your pet project? I want you to discover what that is and realize that the world needs people just like you that have a huge heart and a major conscience that want to do good things to spread goodwill around the community and throughout the country. And it needs someone like you who won't complain about having too much money, that knows just what to do when their needs are met and there's something left over. And I think you can see clearly that that's the case here. So let's move on. Here's something called a coding bonus. Since everyone gets a CEO pack and then they switch where they shop, really a simple system, then every time someone initially gets a CEO pack, this coding bonus works like this. Pick your position in the comp plan. And for everyone, after the fourth person that you introduce, that's what triggers the coding bonus. For every person, after the fourth person that you introduce to Youngevity with a CEO pack, everyone that gets a CEO pack from that point forward, you're going to earn a coding bonus between $15 and $190 throughout your entire team from fourth and beyond. And that adds up very quickly. We pay that bonus every single week. And I'll tell you what, when someone's looking for retirement income, when somebody's looking for weekly pay because time is of the essence and you need cash flow, this coding bonus is brilliant. How about the fact that we talked about that car bonus earlier? Once you become a senior executive marketing director, which by following our system could take anywhere from 30 to 60 days, and you've shared with this business 12 individuals who are committed to using a few products every month from the company, switching where they shop, then here's the bonus. It starts at $450 and it goes up to $1,500. We give you the cash and you can put that into savings, you can use it to pay bills, you can use it to give away, you can use it for anything you want to. However, it's there should you need to make a car payment. And I love this bonus. It's a lot of fun. We let you drive what you want to. And oftentimes we say, well, how much would it cost me to run my business? There's an app. There's an app. You can go to your smartphone to the store that's loaded onto your phone, and you can download our 90 for Life app. I run my entire business off that app, and it is brilliant. Every tool, every resource, everything that you need to manage and run and communicate your business, it's all run through that app. So we've got great tools and unbelievable support. But here's what I want you to just recall as we're concluding here. Here's the benefits. You get to live longer. I think you could understand that from our 90 for Life message. We have a proven business model that began all the way back to 1997. So we've been around for a little while. We have major recognition and appreciation for people. We know how hard people work, and we know how little praise and gratitude and thanks and recognition they receive. So we go overboard to make sure that people have no doubt that their part matters here and that they're valued. How about training and support? Going clockwise. We have the best training. We have the best trainers. We have unbelievable support. You're in business for yourself, but you are far from by yourself. You belong to a team and a family now, and we leave no one behind. Everybody wins. You just have to have the desire, and you have to have the ability to follow the yellow brick road that we've laid out. You get to be your own boss. Willable income, what's that? When you die, not if you die, when you die, we're all going to die, so we might as well just say that. The company leaves it to you to let them know where you want your checks to continue to be sent. That's willable income. The income doesn't stop just because you do. Unlimited income potential. As you can see from a previous slide I already showed you, there is no shortage of how many people you can share this with and how much money you can earn and how big your dream is allowed to be. Vacation incentives, mark it on your calendar every January, and January's coming up. Every January, we take those who want to go and those who have achieved the simple levels of success that are required to get on that cruise, we take them on an all-expense paid trip that you can earn by rank advancing through the company. We'll talk to you more about that in details, but that's the benefits. And what I love is this group of people right here. This is our management team. If you start on the left and work to the right, this is every single individual from the Wallach family and from the Andreoli family and all the way through our other supporting cast. Notice on the far right, there's Rob Greer. Rob Greer is our Director of Business Relations and operations throughout New Zealand. You're going to want to get to know this gentleman. He's very kind, he's brilliant, he's extremely supportive, and he's got a huge vision for what's going on here in Australasia. And all these people at the bottom, again, for following our simple system, these are individuals that through the lifetime of belonging to Youngevity, they've out-earned a 7-figure number. We're very philanthropic as a company. We've picked companies, organizations, projects to get behind, and we're not limited to the ones on the screen, but these are just a few as an example of who we've chosen to support thus far, and we do have it all. Products that everybody needs. Again, there's something here for everybody. We're all over the world and growing. You get to create the economy here. We're not victims of the economy. What I mean by that is, how many times do people say, oh my goodness, there's so many people out of work and there's so much competition and I've had 20, 30 interviews and nothing's landed yet. You don't have to wait to get frustrated by that. Or if you're already in a job and it's just not doing for you what you want it to do, again, this is plan B and it's your exit strategy. Is it a great way to help others? You bet it is. What else transcends the ability to serve somebody else's needs in an area of life that they're lacking by helping them with their physical health and their financial health so they can own the best of their time health? And then multi-billion-dollar markets, these are not piddly little industries. These are global economic monsters that we're just partaking in, and we put our niche into every single one of them. So here's what we've shown you thus far. We've shown you our message, which starts as the 90 for Life message. We've shown you our entire product line, which transcends so many things. And this family of brands, it is alive and well. And there's no shortage on other niches and other categories that we'll be branching into. So our product line is wide, deep, and very diverse. And as far as the income goes, it's simple. It's very, very simple. And whatever number you need, we can help you get there. So there's no limits on what can be obtained here. We've got a great compensation plan and the opportunity is now. I've found this to be true. So many people procrastinate. They put off so they can think about it. They can talk to other people. Be careful. If I could give you some advice, talk to us. We've been successful. We understand what it takes to get from where you are to where you want to go. So if you want to ask questions and talk to people, talk to us. Talking to people that haven't done what we've done, that's a poor place to get advice or feedback from anybody. So action today equals success tomorrow. Take it. One thing is for certain, if we don't make changes, nothing changes in our life. I tell people all the time, share with them, we're actually futurists. We're able to forecast what the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of our life are going to look like exactly to a T. And you say, Scott, how could you possibly know that? The answer is simple. Look over your shoulder, literally turn around as if you're looking backwards over the last several years of your life. And if we don't do something different from then to now, then the next several years are going to look exactly like your history. And if that doesn't make you nervous, I don't know personally what will. Let's talk about retirement for a second. I want you to ask yourself, honestly, these questions with real answers. So right this second, are you totally satisfied with where you want to be financially? And if the answer is no, you need to join us. You need to do this. Do you have all the time in the world that you would like to have to spend with the people that you care about most? And if the answer is no, you need to join us. You need to do this. How prepared are you for retirement? I've got a really good friend of mine. He's run a very successful financial services company for about 3 decades now, which is a really long time. And this individual, I showed them this plan. And on the spot, they said, I am definitely becoming a part of this company. And I said, why? What's your reason for doing it? He goes, because in my world, here's what I know. Most people live on that 40-40 plan. Their income drops dramatically when they cut back from the workforce. And now they're required to live on a fraction of what they were used to. And now they're dependent on investments, the government, family for survival. And when it comes time to investments, he said, here's what I know. If you gave me $1 million to invest in the market, let's say at 4 to 5%, which he says is really good, then what is 4% of $1 million? So first of all, it's pretty tough to give a financial planner $1 million. Even if you did, what's 4% of that? Well, it's $40,000 a year. Divide by 12, that's $3,000 to $3,500 a month. That's what that is. Is that enough? Is that really, truly enough for you to live well in retirement. And I'm not talking about sitting around and not having the money to do stuff. I'm talking about now someone's supposed to own their time. Don't you want to go out and enjoy the world and do something that brings you value or significance now that you don't have a job? And if $3,500 a month isn't enough, you'd have to give them another $1,000,000. Another $1,000,000 would let you live on maybe closer to $7,000 a month. And if that's not enough, then you'd have to give them another $1,000,000 so you could maybe get another $3,500 and live on maybe closer to $10,000 a month. So seriously, what's the likelihood that we're going to give a financial planner $1, $2, or $3 million between now and when we're supposed to be retired? Since that's not very likely, let's talk about what's more likely. If you'll copy what we've shown you and do what we do and take our hand up and follow the leader, follow the leadership that's right in front of you, and say yes to the person that invited you to look at what we're doing inside of Youngevity, there's a lot more reasons to say yes than there is to say, I don't know, I think I'll sit around and take my chances. Listen, I've already shown you what the chances look like. They're slim. It's like a 9 to 1 odd. 9 chances says you'll end up struggling through life to 1 that says you're going to be okay. Are you willing to take those odds at risk? I certainly hope that you don't say those are great odds. Those are horrible odds. You wouldn't do anything else in the world if those were the odds for or against you. You wouldn't. So since we're not that prepared for retirement, why don't we just go to work hard here for the next couple of years and watch what happens? My best guess, by following the system based on my results and the other people that I help, my best guess is that you'll have supplied for you here the results as if you gave your financial planner a lot of money to invest into the market, which is risky, for your future. That doesn't make sense so much as this makes sense. So let's just be honest with ourselves. We need what we're talking about. We want what we're talking about. Don't let whoever they are talk you out of the best decision of your life. No risk. There's no risk here. We have nothing on the table that's risky. We have shown benefits and rationale and reasons for why this makes sense. And let's go put that triple braided cord together. Let's go put the strongest rope together to brace you for the rest of your life. We're happy to answer questions for you and to help you offline from here, get started. But here's our simple system. Let's close with this. Number 1, I show people the simple system is simply to give yourself permission to dream again. What do you want most in your life? Who would you be with? Where would you go? What would you have? What would you do? Who do you want to hug with when times are difficult? Who do you want to celebrate life with and laugh with and play with when times are great? What is your dream? Figure that out. Write it down. Have a reason why you say yes to this business. Number 2, order your CEO pack. Take a few minutes right now. Take like 5 minutes. Talk to the person that invited you to view this webinar. Take 5 minutes and go online and answer simple questions. Where do you want your checks sent to? What's your username and password so you can log into your back office? And which products in the CEO pack are you most excited about using as you consider switching where you shop moving forward? So order your CEO pack, get it registered, and switch where you shop. That's a fun process, something you can control now. And what you really want to do is commit to using the products. Do not order something like the CEO pack just to let it sit on the shelf. Use the products, take the products, and begin experiencing how great this system is for ordering and the fact that it shows up right to your doorstep. Number 3, make a list of people that you absolutely care most about. I'm going to encourage you to make a list of 6 individuals. It's simple. 6 people, that's it. Who are these people? Again, they're the people that exist in your cell phone right now, that you have on speed dial, that you absolutely appreciate more than anybody else. I start with those 6 people. And number 4 is engage. Plug into the people that have a vested interest in your success. Learn, ask questions, grow, attend, show up to local educational opportunities and meetings and overviews that we do where people can come together and congregate and grow their futures together. So we have webinars, we have in-person meetings and trainings, we have CDs, we have podcasts, we have websites, we have everything you need. That's what we mean by engage. but engagement is something that you want to be responsible with. Do it consistently and do it with excitement and do it now. So folks, that's the simple system. I hope you appreciate the things that we've shared with you here over the last little bit of time. And just watch this slideshow. I mean, we know how to have fun, to create memories, to do things that most people dream and think about doing. We really do have it all. And we invite you to come join us, come play with us, come build relationships that are going to last forever, that are not just shallow or short term. This is a family, and we're inviting you into the greatest family of all times. It's called Youngevity, and the question we have for you is, are you next? We know that people say yes every day to this business, and people say no. And it's your decision, and it's your right to say yes. After all, if you don't do this, what else are you going to do? Where else are you going to go? How are you going to live the life that you want for yourself if we work that 40-40-40 plan? No more 40-40-40 plan. Let's work a 2-year plan. Let's follow the simple system, and let's get busy having fun in life. You have a great day. I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you again soon.